Hey, are you upstairs already? Shit.
So I think by now, if you've been following the channel the past days, you'd seen or maybe heard of this upcoming open world zombie survival game called The Day Before. The game's one and only gameplay trailer came out of absolutely nowhere out of the blue, with a stunning demo that showed a post-apocalyptic New York after a dangerous virus had hit the world. For me, this gameplay showed everything I wanted in a survival game, but that we never truly got. It's The Division, but like it intended to be from the beginning, when it was first revealed at E3 years ago by Ubisoft. There's an open world New York to explore, zombies, other players to fight or befriend, vehicles, and snowy regions. A lot of things have been promised here in The Day Before, but I think we know how The Division turned out. Well, at least from its first gameplay demo. The game didn't look as close as it was when it was first publicized. The game's graphics were also downgraded a ton, New York wasn't as open as they had promised, you could only fight other players in a certain part of the world, thus removing the true survival element, and finally, the game was reshaped to be an all-out RPG with numbers above NPCs' heads, with bosses and such. Now, what if The Day Before turns out to be exactly the same? What if almost everything we're seeing here is fake? There's a ton of things in the developer's past, the screenshots and the overall gameplay that, after taking a great look at, could be fake. A scam, basically. Though before we continue further with all of this, know that this is all speculation, and the developers are planning on revealing more details on the project in the future. So I'll definitely be making a video about that, and we'll see what the future holds. Now, I know in the first video I made on The Day Before, I seemed super excited, and I didn't really talk about all these issues. Some of you might be mad about it, but I love to get excited for any upcoming game. It makes me happy for a second, and even if it turns out bad, well, that's that. I'm not one to pre-order any game in general, and I don't think anyone should. It's a bad practice which was created only for money. I like to make videos on every promising indie game, and The Day Before looks like one. In this video though, we will be going in depth on why it is looking very shady. First of all, before we get into it, the game's description promises an open-world MMO survival set in a deadly, post-pandemic America overrun by flesh-hungry infected and survivors killing each other for food, weapons, and cars. You wake up alone in a world you no longer remember, setting out to find answers and the resources to survive. You can search abandoned vehicles, houses, and skyscrapers as you scavenge for the slightest resources available in the open world. You will be crushing the infected and other players with realistic weapons, becoming a legend of the new world. You'll also explore beautiful yet dangerous places with stunningly detailed vehicles and take part in the restoration of the former society before it is too late. In the survivor colony, you can sell your loot and communicate safely with other players. It's some kind of hub where you're safe from the outside world. So that is the main description of the game, but let's go into the shady stuff. First of all, the most obvious ones, the screenshots. Almost every screenshot of The Day Before seem extremely very inspired or copied from other games. It's not that bad, but still, they could have made something a bit more original. Here's this screenshot in comparison with The Division. Pretty much the same, right? Now here's this screenshot compared with the Resident Evil 2 remake. Now here's this screenshot compared to Stalker. Finally, here's this one compared to SnowRunner. I'm not saying they're all exactly the same beside The Division 1, but it's clearly very inspired. That's not very shady, but they shouldn't have done something so similar. Now let's get into the actual gameplay of The Day Before. At first glance, it's not really noticeable, but after watching it a couple of times, the demo seems a bit weird. I might be wrong, and I truly hope I am, but it might not be actual gameplay, like some kind of fake mobile gameplay trailers that we see so much these days. The vehicle driving looks way too smooth, and the noticeable change of cinematic to gameplay after seeing the journal is non-existent. It's like a constant cinematic playing made to look like gameplay. Same thing happens when he goes to search for a soda in the machine. Same thing when he shoots the other players. It all seems so smooth and without a little bit of interruption. There's either one of the two. The developers figured out how to make smooth gameplay like this, or it's just fake. Not only that, the studio making it, called Fantastic, is a small indie studio that almost nobody know of, and they're coming out of the blue with this. a game that can put so many AAA games to shame? Let's take a look at the developer's previous work. The studio's previous title was called The Wild 8, which was a top-down exploration survival game set in the frozen wilderness of Alaska. Team up with friends in online co-op or go solo, explore the mysterious land, craft weapons, and fight to live another day. According to this game's reviews, it was never fully finished, and it's said to be packed with bugs and unfinished features. They have also made the game Dead Dozen, which received mixed reviews and was later abandoned. Now, I'm not saying they can come out with The Day Before, in fact I'm praying it's all real, but this is a bit shady. Now let's take a look at the publisher's past of The Day Before, called Mytona. Mytona is a Russian publishing company that publishes mobile games only. Now that doesn't mean they can try and publish a PC game, which they just did with The Day Before, but it is a bit weird they do that out of the blue again and on a massively ambitious project. I'd like to start a discussion in the comments below, and I want you guys to let me know what you all think of this. Do you think it could be real, or does it seem fake to you? I guess only time will tell, but I will definitely talk about this game once again when footage and details arrives. Talking about the new details, the developers just posted their first community post on Steam, revealing a bit more on what The Day Before is all about. Here's what they say. We're really grateful to all of you for your interest in the game. The Day Before is the greatest game we've ever made at Fantastic, and the real breakthrough for us. The creation of such a massive game was made possible by an incredible partnership with Mytona, one of the world's largest mobile game publishers. Fantastic is an all-remote independent game development company, previously most known for The Wild 8 and Radiant 1. Founded in 2015 in Yakutsk, sorry for pronouncing that wrong, Yakutsk, Russia, the coldest city in the world, our team consists of talented people from different countries. At Fantastic, our mission is to give millions of people a feeling of celebration, and these are not just words, we really believe in it. We'll provide you with more details about the game shortly. Until then, we would like to answer the 6 most frequently asked questions. The Day Before features a huge and detailed open world with a large city, towns, snow-capped mountains, rivers, and forests. Also, there will be a survival colony where you can talk to inhabitants, hang out with your friends and other players. Right now, The Day Before is a PvP-focused game with AI-controlled enemies, but there will be a lot of interesting activities for PvE lovers as well. They also say that The Day Before will bring innovation to the long-stagnant MMO survival genre, and that they will tell us more about the gameplay soon. They've also stated the announcement trailer was in-game footage. However, they're still in the process of developing and improving the game. I really hope it is actually in-game footage like they're saying here. And finally, The Day Before is being developed on the latest version of Unreal Engine. Alright guys, if you'd like to see more updates on this project, which I'm planning on making more, make sure you guys drop a like on this video and of course subscribe to stay tuned. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks to Space Beer Gaming, Rush Shingbati, I Am Legend, Diamond Hunter 45, Themistocles, Rickno23 and Kianzo Fagari for being a master member on the channel. You can become a survivor member for as low as 99 cents a month. It'll help me and the channel as a whole to make more and better videos.